The dirt. We took the liberty of taking off Monday. I was just wore slap out from a tour of Mississippi like no other with the Neesmith Dirt Late Model Series. 3 nights of racing. I filmed 5 races, actually. Also was covering Southern All-Star races for Mr. Rigsby and Dirt on Dirt. So I hope everybody enjoyed the Memorial Day weekend and found themselves at a racetrack somewhere. I know that the DRC guys went on a big tour. And from a report on Facebook, they were mere feet from the likes of Snoop Dogg and Bam Margera. I guess these guys were taking part in some kind of gumball rally. And if I was Jody Shannon, I probably would have continued on with the gumball rally. I think I can beat Snoop driving. Without further ado,
dude,
chilling, man. I'm literally was. Anytime I go out to the races, it's work. So, I go to the race.
You're just wore out.
I mean, just tired, brother. Like I got like 3 hours of sleep headed into the final leg of the Mississippi swing for the Neesmith Series, and had it not been for, we were going to leave that night from the Speedway to go home, but there were some things that the Neesmith Series had to deal with, and then so we decided to stay and got home yesterday about lunchtime. But of course, then I had to man the grill.
Well, so you had to get that all fired up and feed everybody.
We had ribs. It was great. Ribs. Had a few cold adult beverages. We went swimming.
Now you know where the big news lies in the dirt news, don't you?
Oh, tell me.
Isn't there? Don't we have another guy on here?
Man, it's been a long weekend.
Yeah, but dude, you pulled it off.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I finally brought one home.
Was it in spanking fashion?
Well, I mean, yeah, I would say. I mean, if I'd have known ahead of time, I would have just ran with the super late models. If I'd known that the car was going to be as good as what it was when we got there.
Well, this is breaking news for the host because you guys went to Victory Lane over the weekend, and I apologize for not knowing, but
yeah,
I'm supposed to be the guy helping to represent you. You don't tell nobody.
Well, technically, we all went to Victory Lane this weekend.
That's right.
True.
Well,
yeah, it was a pretty fun weekend. I can't complain.
I mean, I was just going to ask if you and your buddies set something on fire, not let alone winning a race. So tell me about it. You guys were at Green Valley, I guess?
No, we went to Fort Payne.
Okay.
Green Valley wasn't racing, so we just went to Fort Payne just to try and make a little money. It was a little bit cheaper for us to go there than it was to Talladega. And we got there, and they had to make up a super late model race for a couple weeks ago. It rained them out. And we watched them, and then we hot lapped and qualified, and I qualified like a 14.8, maybe a low 14.8 or something, and so I was the fastest crate car. So I went up there and watched super late model qualify, and I wasn't sure what my time was. I just knew we were first, and I got up there, and they were like, I think my dad qualified third, and he was like a 15.03 or something. And I think the fastest super was like a 15.01. They was like, you beat their times. I was like, what do you mean? And somebody was like, yours was like 14.8. I was like, man, I should have just ran with them. I was like,
coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah, but anyway, we just started on the pole and just led every lap of the crate race, and it was pretty good. I appreciate it.
Well, sorry I couldn't have been there for y'all. Did you get to beat the likes of Heck, can't think of his name now. The 42 car? I can't think of his name.
No, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Casey Hall.
Casey Hall. Dang, yeah, I know the dude. I can't think of his name.
Well, he was at Green Valley the week before, and I really thought he was going to, be pretty good down there. And then I passed him on the outside on the first lap of the heat race. I started sixth, and he started like fourth. So I was hoping he would have been there Saturday night, but he wasn't. But oh well, a win's a win, no matter who you beat.
Well, tonight, and congratulations, Kyle, and I apologize for not knowing. I've been real busy with the Neesmith series over the weekend. But
yeah,
tonight,
I heard some big news about that too, but that's another time, another place.
What'd you hear? I'm not really able to discuss much, but you can say what you heard.
I just seen on Mr. Cooley's Facebook page something about getting the wind took away over a tire, and that they wasn't actually that somebody commented on it that they wouldn't take the sample like they were supposed to of the tire, and that they called the cops because he wouldn't give up the trophy, and it didn't make any sense. You know how stories get blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
He just said something that the cops got called over a $5 trophy, and then other people got on there and started commenting stuff. I never did see him say anything else, so I wasn't sure.
Well, it'll. You ever heard that old saying, Kyle, from your mom and dad, that it'll all come out in the wash?
Yeah, I've heard that.
It'll all come out in the wash, friend.
Well, I understand.
But moving on from that, yeah, it was a pretty good weekend down there in Mississippi. We went to Hattiesburg. It's a little bull ring out in the middle, basically right there in Hattiesburg off the interstate. A nice little bull ring. It was a fast racetrack. Then we moved up to Why Not, which is just smooth, wide, and fast. I mean, that was just a great race there. And then, again on, Sunday night, the Magnolia Speedway, Motor Speedway, always in immaculate black ice conditions nearly every time I've been there, other than a rained Lucas Oil event one time. It didn't start till midnight, but yeah, it was a good weekend for the Neesmith series. Jeremy Shaw gets the win on Sunday at Magnolia. With all that went on, he was the guy running second, so he got the trophy. He got the check, the cash. He had a newborn baby, so he needs diaper money. Well, we're supposed to, tonight's guest, and the first one was supposed to have already called in, and I don't know that he will, but I'll text him here in a second. But tonight's guests are Devin Gilpin. He's supposed to be our first guest. 5 features over the weekend he won. Could you imagine that?
That kid's been killing them up here. I think he's got 14 wins.
Yeah, according to Jody Shannon, 14 wins and not even June yet. And then our second guest of the evening is Mr. Jimmy Owens. You guys might know who he is. He's the 2011 Lucas Oil Series champion. He's the current points leader. He's also won back-to-back Show Me 100. So he's done a little bit in this sport. We're going to have him on second. Coming on third would be the current UMP late model points leader, Mr. Jim Moon. Going to talk about how he's got his car up front of the points with a 525 motor. And as promised, in the show, we're going to have Mr. Robby Hensley on. He parked the 21 Rocket in Victory Lane over the weekend, so he'll be on at the very end of the show. What'd you do this weekend, Brian?
Yeah, well, I helped my buddy Timmy get his first feature win down at Florence. So he was piloting the BGR Army Street Stocker this weekend. Helped him out a little bit, and really that was the main thing we worked on most of the weekend was, making sure that he was going to make it right into victory lane. And he ended up on the pole of that feature event and fell back, I guess, about 3 or 4 spots, just to give him a chance before he really laid it on him and pulled off about a 5-6 car victory.
Well, and I see that the DRC...
How's that for crap talking?
It's pretty good.
I wish Kyle would talk more crap.
Dude, did you see my buddy Ricky Boggs' Cribs episode on the DRC?
I haven't yet. I'm telling you, that 3 days in Mississippi really, really, really took it out of me. I wasn't necessarily around the internet the whole time. Dude,
that dude talks some stuff. I think there's a segment on his Cribs interview where he's pointing at a ladder hanging on the wall, and he's showing everybody their stuff, and he points to that ladder hanging on the wall. He says, and right here, this is a ladder that all the street stock guys at Lawrenceburg got to use to climb up to kiss my ass.
Well, there you go.
That's some shit talking, but he's a big dude. Big dude.
And did I read where Mr. Chad Total Chaos Stapleton got him a win over the weekend?
I think he won down at Somerset, Lake Cumberland. So there's a little bit of talk about Chad. I wonder if he's going to go to the Latham Saturday.
He probably won poolside on Monday. I heard I seen that interview. Said he was going to be poolside Monday. I said that's one of the racetracks I never heard of.
Poolside.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, let's go to a small break. If we don't hear from Mr. Devin here in the next few minutes, we got Jimmy Owens coming up at 15 after the hour or so. So you guys just stick with us here on In the Dirt, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to an In the Dirt. And as of right now, no guests have called in. Oh, huh?
Dude, it's like they're always doing something.
Well, I'll give Devin the benefit of the doubt. I talked to his grandfather today, Don, up at I guess Dasco, and he said he was pretty wore out, and I could see where he might be. And then I spoke with Devin, and he said that he would get a hold of me about 5:30, and well, it's 6:15 now. But hopefully, Mr. Jimmy Owens call in. We'll give him a few more minutes. But I can call Moon at any moment, and we'll have us a guest.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact.
Well, you want me to play some guitar?
No.
I'm just gonna sit here and jam them while we're waiting around.
Hey, okay, just go ahead and jam real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and call Moon.
Turn it up loud. Too loud.
So, are you going to get back into a car this year?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Eventually. I got one sitting out there. I got another one sitting in the garage. I'm just trying to get my head ain't right now, Webb. It ain't never been exactly correct, but I'm really screwed up right now. I'm kind of contemplating which direction I want to go in.
I mean, is it a direction of racing or something else?
Well, it's a direction. It's a direction of racing, and I got some calls from some guys, and they kind of screwed me up for a second. I love to race, and I've said it before. I went and I did this another time, and packed up everything and moved down to North Carolina and about lost my mind. So that's the only thing that's stopping me. But with everything else going on, I got some things cooking, and right now is really the best time to maybe not focus on trying to get out and race with these guys at Moeller's and stuff, and just get my program back together.
Well, I've dialed the Moon Man. I'm eager to talk to him too, since he is running that 525 motor and he's leading the points. Welcome to the program, Mr. Jim Moon. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Not good at all. My first two guests flaked on me as of right now, so we had to call our
No way. Hey, who's your first two guests?
I shouldn't say flaked. I apologize. That's just a harsh word.
Hey, hold on now, Webb. When they say, yeah, we'll call, and then they don't call.
Devin Gilpin, the guy, 5-time winner over the weekend, 5 feature wins over the weekend in open wheel cars. And he's tired probably, I get it. And then Jimmy Owens.
Didn't he win the show me or something this weekend?
Yeah, he won. That's his second one in 2 years, in as many years.
And he can't take the time to call.
I don't know if that's. I don't know. I spoke with both of them today, and they'll call. It's fine. He's got a lot. He's trying to run a championship team.
See, what it is Webb calls him up and he tells him, yeah, call in at 6 o'clock. But Webb is on a totally different time zone.
No, I explained the time zone. Me and Moon talked about the time zone.
Webb,
Yeah.
Maybe those people have so much money, they don't need the PR. Maybe they don't need to bring any more money into the program.
Oh, look at this. We got phone numbers popping up now. Who'd we call out?
That's Mr. Jimmy Owens right there. That's an 865 number.
Oh,
Jim,
wow.
Jim,
give him the dial tone like he did you all.
Give him the dial tone.
If you'll give me the courtesy, Jim, of bringing my guest on and then just hanging on for a second, can I get back with you? And I'm not trying to. I just want to make sure we get him on because
let Jim on with him.
I can't do that.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, that probably would be a good idea. I got questions. I want to know how to go faster, and he's probably got answers. He don't want to give them out.
All right. Yeah. Let me just put Jim. I'm gonna be right back with you. Give me about 10 or 15 minutes, please.
Jim Moon, here, go to the side. We got Jimmy Owens coming on the line.
He was already scheduled.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying.
Welcome to the program, Mr. Jimmy Owens. Jimmy, you with us?
I'm with you. What's going on? Sorry I'm late.
That's all right. That's all right. We've
been giving you a hard time there.
Not too hard.
It sounds like it. I was in the middle of something. I thought, oh, crap, gotta go.
You were still running the Show Me 100, right?
I was still running laps, yeah. Talking about what we should and could have done.
Well, don't worry, Jim. Don O'Neill, he forgot us all together one evening, so we had to reschedule him. But we were confident you were going to call in.
Oh, I could tell from what I was hearing earlier.
I'm surprised nobody said no instead of the O show, the no show.
Well, hold on. You got to give all of us at least like a 5-10 minute break. You know what? Or a leeway. That's what it is.
Yeah, I do. I plan for it. But now to the matter at hand, Mr. Jimmy Owens, the 2011 Lucas Oil Series champion. You just finished off your second Show Me 100 victory in as many years. Life's got to be good right now for the Owens team.
It's going really good. I mean, we just been finishing races and finishing up front, and we just got to keep doing it.
And leading it, coming into the season, of course, expectations had to have been pretty high coming off a championship. In your opinion, what's been tougher, the chasing of the championship or now the defending of a championship?
Last year the chasing was definitely a lot tougher because, we were trying to beat Scott. He was having a great year, and was trying to beat everybody, but Scott was having a great year, and it was just making it really tough. And then you had to hear the media and all those guys asking you 8,000 questions, and then this year everything's kind of hush-hush, and we're just racing and having a good time.
Well, I'm glad we're not the media.
We're not the media.
So what's it like to drive the chassis that is built by your one of your toughest competitors?
Would you say what's it like to drive one?
Well, what's it like to drive a car that you know that you're against the guy who builds it?
Well, there ain't. I don't guess there's nothing better than beating them in their own stuff. Doesn't get much sweeter than that.
Well, last year, let me just tell you, Brian and I were fortunate enough to be at the banquet last year and watch you get your check, your trophy, all the accolades that comes along with winning the Lucas Oil race. We were rooting for Nathan to knock over Bloomquist's trophy there when he set it to the side and got it. Weren't you kind of secretly doing the same?
Well, I wasn't really rooting for him too, but if he'd have known it was Scott, he may have.
That's probably the most.
He thought he could make everybody laugh.
Yeah, that's probably the most famous toddler in all of dirt track.
Webb, I got to interrupt you guys because I'm getting all these messages from a few different people on here. I don't know what to do with it. There's people asking all kinds of questions. Do you got a minute, Jimmy?
I got a minute.
I probably shouldn't say anything because Webb might strike me down.
It can't be anything that's going to be a surprise because I promised Mr. Owens no surprises.
Okay, it's probably they're probably surprises because somebody's asking me if you have a secret race car for playtime.
A secret race car for playtime? We did buy a Barry Wright race car.
Well,
we haven't raced it. We may race it in a few non-sanctioned races later on this year, but we're really happy with what we're running now, and we just got a good deal on a race car and decided we'd get it.
Now I've got woohoos. That was a multiple question by about 6 different people on my Facebook just now.
Is there going to
ask it?
Any more Chili Bowl appearances?
Well, I think I tore up too much junk for those guys, and they ain't invited me back. So I would love to go back to the Chili Bowl, but that's probably not going to happen. I don't think those guys can afford me.
Have you drove too many of those little midget cars?
No, I hadn't driven any at all. It was all new to me. And it was pretty crazy. Those guys, they're a really great bunch of guys. And I went out to Hot Lap that first session, and I'd never been on a track that small in my life, and I'd never been in nothing with the power to weight ratio of those little suckers. And those guys, they were telling me, he said, you got to get to the bottom, get to the bottom. I said, you don't understand. He's like, what? I said, I'm aiming for the bottom every lap. I said, the bottom's just going by faster than I can turn the wheel.
I just never understood why anybody would want to put a motor and some wheels on a football. Because that's
well, let me tell you, when you get them stood up, they'll roll just like a football.
I got to it was the sprint car guys were at the Talladega short track, and I got to film them. And as a videographer, of course, you know action. You don't root for action, but when those sprint cars get to going and tumbling, and that makes good video. I thought I was going to catch Tony Stewart in a good one, but he jumped the berm, went out of sight, and drove it back up. So he didn't make it fly or anything. Well, Jimmy, we certainly don't want to keep you. I think I heard the little one there in the background. Before we let you go, I want you to thank some of your sponsors and actually also thank some of the crew guys that are on this tour with you and defending your championship.
Well, I got to thank Mike Reese, our car owner. He's the one who made all this stuff possible for us. And, Redline Oil, Owens Shocks, Jason Young. I always forget him, and he kills me every time we do an interview. But I got him this time. And Snow Cold Race Fuels, Hypercold Springs, and just, Lucas Oil and all those guys for giving us a good series to run. And, I got to thank Chris Fox, my crew chief, and Chad Bryant and Kenny Holt. Those guys are just a really big part of what we do. And, it makes it a whole lot easier for everyone.
Last question before I let you go. You're coming out of 4 with a chance to pass somebody for a win, don't matter what race, don't matter what track, but who would it be most satisfying to pass for a win and coming out of 4?
Pass for the win coming out of 4. I'm going to go probably with John Blankenship because we give each other a hard time about not running one another. So.
You couldn't have gave me a juicy answer like Bloomer, huh?
Well, that's probably, you hear that crap all the time.
That's true. All right, well, Mr. Owens,
and would you rub it in afterwards?
I normally don't brag much or nothing like that, but I would give him a hard time about it. Yeah.
Good. Well, all right, Mr. Owens, we'll see you at the racetrack. Thank you very much for taking time out of your evening. And like I said, Don O'Neill just didn't call, so we appreciate your time, sir.
Okay, well, sorry about the delay.
Oh, that's all right. Mr. Jimmy Owens in pursuit of his second Lucas Oil Series championship.
Breaking news, Webb.
What's that?
I said I'm breaking news open. We're breaking stories left and right.
Just left and right. Mr. Moon, you're back on the air, and I appreciate your cavalier attitude for letting me do that. And sleeping.
Somebody hit the revving up a little bit.
Hey, are we done playing softball?
Oh my gosh!
Hey, I didn't throw him a softball. That was a pretty good.
I could have knocked all that out of the ballpark. I don't even play ball. I'm blind.
I've already been suspended once. That's what I told him to. That's why I said you should stay on. I was pulling for you there.
I can't believe you. I thought this was. I don't know if I want to be on the show.
Webbs can't be hardcore anymore.
I just want to thank my sponsors: Jungle Gyms Cafe, Aggressive Graphics, Indie Pick Apart, Hoosier Bus Match, Uptown Garage, Modern Paving and Scrap, Rick's Towing, Toys Track Talks, Willie's Carburetor and Dyno Shop, Willward Precision Steering Components, Willwood, Simpson, Simpico Lubricants, Double H Race Fabrication, Midwest Motorsports Marketing, Action Suspension, KRC Power Steering, Midwest Speed Expo, Decatur Used Cars, Pauly Spot, Digital Copy Systems, and J-Force Rocks. It's been a great interview, guys.
Jim Moon is the current UMP late model points leader. Jim, you guys went out and had a solid weekend. Tell us about your weekend.
Well,
as I'm trying not to laugh.
You want to interview me now? You want to interview me now?
No, we're going to
me up for that guy.
We're going to have Devin Gilpin call in a minute, and we're going to put you on hold again.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we went to Belle Claire Speedway, and I'm going to make some people mad on this interview. I don't know if we really should do this. I went to Belle Claire Speedway and had a great time over there at Belle Vegas. Ran fourth. We'll skip Saturday because they don't even deserve mention. Did finish fifth there. Sunday we was at Quincy, another great race over there at Quincy. We wound up fourth there. Tonight we was at the beautiful Macon Speedway in Macon, Illinois, and we ran a solid seventh there.
And you're doing all this with a 525, isn't that correct?
Yeah, 525. Although I did read today on stlouisracing.com that it's nowhere near legal. It can't be legal.
It can't be legal.
It can't be legal. It cannot be that fast and still be legal.
And your answer to that is?
I didn't respond to it, but my answer to it, if they were listening, will bring me a new one and we'll swap.
Well, aren't those?
That'd be nice.
Aren't they? You get the bigger wing with the 525 up against the late model motor?
No.
See,
that's what's funny. I got to run an 8-inch spoiler, run the same tires as they do. I get a 100-pound weight break. But anybody watching me across the scales, I'm a fat boy. I'm only getting about 20 pounds of that weight break. So if they think it's that much faster, I'll bolt the 20 pounds on, and we'll just be an open motor, and you'll be getting your butt spanked by a cheap motor. However you want to look at it. So
it's you have the same everything except for the motor, and you're still.
Yeah. Well, I legally get a 100-pound weight break.
Yeah.
But I'm not fortunate enough to be able to take advantage of it.
And
it's one of those deals, Webb.
And so let's look. I'm just going to pull up some of the competitors that you are.
He's got one of them old, big, heavy cars like I got, I guess.
No, I got a real race car. You have a tractor. I have a race car.
Right.
I think. Well, what kind of car do you have?
I got an old school black front end rocket.
Oh, do you? Okay, yeah. So we're on the same program. I got a rocket.
Yeah, that's what I said. One of them old piece of shit heavy cars.
I wouldn't call it piece of shit and heavy because I've won lots of races in mine, unlike you. But we won't go there.
Hey, I have won races in mine. Go to the Moeller website. You'll see.
Real races, not races.
I got a trophy for it
show
too.
Up. Oh, that's cool. Like I said last time I was on, if you really won one, I congratulate you because they don't come very often.
I did win one. It just didn't count.
What? It never counts with you, right?
I know.
So, but
it's okay.
It counted to me.
I like you.
You're leading the points against such names as Pierce and Unzicker, Bishop, English, Spatola, Fager. Fager's way down at 20th. Brian Shirley. So it's not like you're up there running go-karts, right, Jim?
No, I don't think they call them go-karts. I think they call them super late models.
That's right. So the 525 is, in your opinion, is the most bang for the buck. I would guess you would say.
Oh yeah. You know, if it wasn't for the 525, I'd be broke and not racing.
Wow. And it's my opinion that's probably the direction that most of what the local tracks know as super late models will go. Would that be your opinion?
Yeah, I agree with that analogy. I mean, it's I mean, if you got unlimited funds, by all means, have all the horsepower you want. But if you're a guy with limited means and limited funds, the 525 is the way to go.
Interesting.
What are you saying?
I'm not taking anything away from the people that have money, but I don't. I mean, and this is how I got to race, and this is how I got to eat.
So
you're going to be bringing it to Florence?
My plan before all this has kind of transpired was to run the Summer National deal, Brian. I'm rethinking that because some opportunities. It's not every day you have a legitimate shot. Not every year, at least not for me, that I have a legitimate shot to maybe finish inside the top 20 in UMP national points, and that would be such an honor to be able to stand on stage inside that top 20 and know how I did it with what I got.
But you'll have to run that Summer Nationals deal, won't you?
No. It's far better for me and my program if I don't do the Summer Nationals and concentrate on racing locally to capitalize on my points. Because on the Summer Nationals, I mean, the Summer National races pay no more points than a weekly Saturday night race.
Well, don't most of them pay like $4,000 or $5,000 to win every night, don't they?
Well, they do. But check my stats. I don't win. I'm just consistent. So I don't see me picking up any $4,000 or $5,000 or $8,000 or $10,000 paychecks out on the Summer National.
See, now he's talking sensible, Webb.
Oh, he's always been sensible. When he's on here with us, I mean, now, so you're going to do any of the Summer Nationals?
I am. I've got 15 dates planned out. Okay, I've got some friends over in the Florence, Cincinnati area that I would love to get over and see. That's kind of towards the end of the Summer National deal, and it depends on how those races go as to whether I go over there or not.
One of my listeners just says they wanted to see you at Brownstown because he knows you can win there. He's seen you do it.
I don't know who he's seen, but he's never seen me win at Brownstown.
Or, well, it says B-Town. I'm assuming that's Brownstown.
Yeah, somebody said you can win at B-Town.
Look, I've never won anything at Brownstown. I can't even win a heat race there.
Well, why not?
No. But I'm better. This is where I'm better this year than I ever have been, but I'm not as good as I once was. So it's silly to go to Brownstown.
Did you just quote Toby Keith?
No. That's a moonism.
I think you... Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We got phone ringing.
Uh-oh. Why is the phone ringing?
Call in?
Huh?
I don't know. I don't think it's on my end.
Is that Rufus?
Yeah, Rufus. Is this Rufus? Who calling?
Huh?
Who calling?
Jim Moon called you.
I didn't hear no Jim Moon.
This is Rufus Thomas, Jim.
Who's Rufus Thomas?
He's your big fan.
Yeah.
Does he have a shirt?
Say what?
Do you have a shirt?
Yeah, church.
Yeah, you go to church.
Do I go to church? Yeah, I go to church. Go to church every Sunday and sometime Wednesday night when my wife carried the kids up there.
Okay, that's good. The question was, did you have a T-shirt?
T-shirt?
Yeah.
What kind of T-shirt?
A white one.
No, I'd be a black man. I like black.
You like black?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. Rufus.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Rufus Thomas.
You got a question for me?
Who I talking to?
Brian Gray.
Brian Gray. I got a question for Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go out to Mola's on Friday nights, and I ain't hard to see because I'd be probably the only black man out there. And Brian Gray normally run out there, and I ain't seen him.
I've been missing in action.
It's because he hits the push truck and everything else.
That's what they say.
Yeah, he hadn't made it out the pitch yet.
He ain't made it out. Well, I can believe that, but I ain't seen him out there. He come out there about 2-3 weeks ago, and I ain't seen him.
He's at Mr. Rufus.
Yeah.
Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Thomas.
Rufus Thomas. Yeah.
This is Webb. I'm the host who's been mutinized.
I talked to you about 3 or 4 weeks ago, didn't I?
Yes, sir. We talked about Wendell Scott.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I said that was about 40 years ago. But let me tell you something now. I was down there last night at this here Lawrenceburg Speedway, and I want to tell you, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was by that Tony Stewart and this guy named Donnie Schatz or something, and they're a black family that one got to go through his car hauler. I couldn't believe that.
Well, I don't know that they are. I don't know that I don't know. You know what to say on that.
I'm speechless too. There's so many places I can go. I try best when you're quiet.
Well, no. When I was leading to, that surprised me. You know, because I don't see too many black people at the dirt races or even at any other kind of races.
I 100% agree.
It looked like there was a mama and a daddy, and they had 2 little kids, and they were shaking their hands. That they showed Tony Stewart's and his Donnie Schatz and whoever the hell he is, and they went through his car hauler.
I think it's pronounced Sharts.
I don't know.
Dude, Donnie Sharts is going to be in the Prelude this year.
Say what?
I think
they're going to let Steve Kinzer and Donnie Schatz run the Prelude.
What's better?
Mr. Thomas, I think it's an important thing that the sport of auto racing becomes more diverse at all levels, and here's why.
Yeah.
That's more.
I agree.
Interest in the sport. That's more people that can come enjoy the sport, and we both know. And I may have said this the last time we spoke that putting asses in the seats is what it's all about. And
that's right. That's right.
Doesn't matter what color those asses are. Let's just get.
No, that's right. But it sort of surprises me. That not that there is any racism going on, but I just don't see that, if you know what I'm saying. And I saw that last night, and I was very happy.
I applaud that.
They must have been some kind of celebrities or something, because I got near that truck and trailer, and they sort of run my ass off.
Mm.
Well, Mr. Thomas, anytime I'm over in that area, you're welcome to walk through my trailer.
Well, I appreciate it. And now, listen, okay's Mama. Yeah, my wife calling the chitlins is ready.
You go eat them.
You enjoy it?
I do that, and it's been a pleasure, Mr. Webbs, of talking to you.
The pleasure's been mine, Rufus.
Yeah, you have a good evening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bye.
Hijacked.
That was, again, one of the most scary moments in the dirt.
Whew.
I started sweating. I feel like I ate a bunch of hot snow.
I was good because there were so many different directions I could have went, but I just kept thinking, I need money to race on.
Glad you kept thinking, Mr. Boone.
You know what? I do need to plug something.
Okay.
I told somebody a few years ago when I stopped doing Ask the Moon Man, if I was ever dumb enough to lead the UMP or lucky enough to lead the UMP National Points, I would do another Ask the Moon Man. And the other time I was going to do an Ask the Moon Man episode was if this guy Jason Crump lives in Peebly, Missouri, if he ever beat me with his Rayburn car in my Rocket, I had to do another show to acknowledge that maybe all Rayburns aren't tractors. So I haven't had to do that. I'm leading the points. I am going to do an Ask the Moon Man episode next week on, I'm not sure who's going to host it. I hope All American Race Talk does, but I'm not sure about that. But if you'd like to send your questions in to askthemoonman@yahoo.com, I will answer all questions, and it will be an hilarious show, I promise. We will offend somebody.
How do I get to be a part of Ask the Moon Man, other than just asking a question?
It's just ask the questions.
Okay.
There's going to be some completely look. People that watch it and think it's serious, they need help in the first place. Okay, so let's put that up front. So when you watch it, it's going to be funny. And
this is video. This is going to be a TV show, like.
Have you ever seen Ask the Moon Man? It'll be on the internet.
I haven't. I have to go look at some old ones, but yeah, I'll be interested in seeing that.
Yeah. It will be funny.
Maybe we'll get Rufus to call in and ask a question.
If Rufus wants to call in, I will actually do a live phone interview, or it's not really live, but I'll do a phone interview with him, and I'll have fun with it.
You know what that's like, don't you?
Oh, dude,
it's like knowing the ice is thin. It's like knowing when you go out there that you could fall through at any moment, and when you make it back from the thin ice, you're like, whew.
But see, with the people that are buying those T-shirts, they know what they're getting. It's a character that I'm selling, and you're buying.
Kind of like The Rock.
I like to think of myself as more like John Cena, the people's champion.
The people's champion? You can't be the people's champion.
That's The Rock, isn't it?
That's
from the old school wrestling.
Is it?
I kind of like to think of myself as Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Rowdy Piper?
That tells you my age.
No, see, that should be like Brian's deal, because he's the one running around the court. Hey, how did this Gay USA deal go over there in Columbus? Did you get over there for it?
Dude, I tried to enter that, and it just didn't work out.
Oh.
Dude, they said that I wasn't gay enough. They said I needed to go back to the Jim Moon School of Faggotism.
Hey, you know what?
Here we go.
And get my diploma.
So we made it through the whole Rufus conversation without any bad words. We can't get through this conversation without that word.
Dude, that's not a bad word. We've been saying that word since forever.
Yeah, what word was bad?
All of a sudden, it's a bad word.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I mean, this episode was doomed from when, hey, Moon, I got to let you go for a minute. I got to interview Mr. Jimmy Owens.
I think that dude was talking about Ron Moon at B-Town, not Jim Moon.
Yeah, he has to be, because I've never won at B-Town. So.
I guess he's the other Moon Man.
But here's the thing about live radio, as we have our fourth and final guest calling in, Mr. Robby Hensley. That's the thing with live radio is if the guests don't do their part at the certain times, then it kind of just throws off everything. And as you can see, it's thrown off everything.
Well, the line of work I come from, if you can't be on time, they normally will find somebody else to fill your position.
Yeah. I'm just.
I mean, when they say hit it now, they want to see it now. They don't want to see it in 15 minutes.
They want it right now. I got you.
That's right. There is no room for error there.
So you're speaking of the filming industry.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that.
The filming industry?
Yeah.
What are we filming?
Instructional videos.
Instructional videos on, okay.
Yeah. Marital aid is what sometimes people refer to them.
Oh my gosh. This is going to go down as the lost episode.
What have I said wrong?
Nothing.
We haven't even got controversial, Webb.
Yeah, nothing said wrong.
Kyle May's back there speechless.
Yeah, Kyle's not 21 yet. When do you turn 21, Kyle? We may not be able to have these conversations with you listening.
Like a week.
Oh, you turn 21 in a week?
Close enough.
Well, I'll take that back. Wait, yeah. Nope. Yeah, it's a week.
So are you gonna drink your first beer, your first ever beer in a week?
Yeah, it's my first one.
Holy crap, dude. Donnie Schatz is in a Club 29 car for the Prelude.
Hey, you know what? Somebody needs to be in a Club 1 car for the Prelude, and let's just see how badass of a driver they really are. I mean, let's go to Eldora with a 525 and see how good you really are.
You ain't making nothing with a 525 at Eldora.
How much money? You ain't
gonna make a go.
How much money how much money is this, Brian? How much money do you want to put on that deal that I can go to Eldora and make the show?
That you can go to Eldora and make the Dream with a 525?
Nope, I did not say the Dream. I will go to Eldora and make the show. Yep.
Hell, show up. Anybody can make the show. Kyle May could take his 604 crate motor there.
Silence is golden, I guess.
Right. I mean, that's it. They haven't had enough cars showing up, I don't think.
Oh no, I didn't know that. No, I'll go and actually race my way in. I don't want to give me, but I'll go there, and I'm positive I can beat somebody.
Danica?
I've never driven the late model up there, so let's pick a day and let's just go.
Look, I've been to Eldora twice in my life. Once when I was about 14 to watch, and I've raced there once and have about 20 laps around that place.
I drove a street stock around there one night. That's it.
Hey, Jim, I know you could probably beat a few people on Wednesday next week.
Well, I'm sure I could, but I'll never be given the opportunity.
I don't know, man. They get around there pretty good.
Aren't big enough. My tits aren't big enough.
Are you going next week or not?
Me? No, I'm not going next week.
You're not going to go?
Why would I go?
Why not? Why wouldn't you go? It's a party. It's like a whole week of just like dirt racing party time.
If I want to party, I can quit racing.
All right,
man.
All right.
No fun.
Jim, you guys are leading the points there in the UMP series. What's up next for the Moon Man and the points race? What tracks are coming up?
Thursday night at Highland, Illinois. Friday night at Belle Claire again. Saturday, I'm doing this off memory, so bear with me here. Saturday, I think I'm at Montgomery County, Missouri, and Sunday back at Quincy. And then I'm taking a few days off. Then we'll get ready. We'll start getting ready for the Summer National stuff. We have a new car coming out next week, a new rack.
Is it Highland? So, is that home to Rick Salter? Is that his home track?
You know, I think. Look, I don't know Rick. I've raced with him a little bit, but I think his home track is really Tri-Cities.
Tri-City, that's right. Tri-City.
Our Granite. But they're all right there together. Those people down there in St. Louis are blessed. They got about 3 tracks or 4 tracks to race at weekly.
Are you going to be at Peebly or Belle Claire, any of those Lincoln, whatever, for the Hell Tours?
Yes, I will.
Cool. I'll be there also.
The races right around home I'm going to run, like the Brownstown and the Belleville and Macon, everything like within 60 miles of my house, I'm going to run. The ones that are, Brownstown, Indiana, I doubt if I go to. I may go up to Kankakee. I'm not going to Cedar Lake. I'm not going to Wilmot. So I may hit LaSalle. Just races around home.
Well, all right. Well, as long as you are the current UMP points leader, we'll have you on each week, and we'll document everything until the day you either win the championship or you're not the current points leader. How about that?
I like my chances of being on the show weekly better than Brian's, I guess, at that point.
So should I
we'll stick around. We'll run some UMP races and cherry pick this one and that one while all the good guys go here.
Brian,
I'm going to go over here.
Brian.
That's how you win that points deal, Webb.
Brian, I'm not cherry picking.
Well, all right.
You go look who I'm racing against, and you tell me I'm cherry picking, and
I ain't seen you come over here to Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, so you ain't racing against nobody.
Brian.
It's a little late in the show to be starting this kind of crap, Brian.
What?
I lived over there, okay, Brian? I participated in the demolition derbies that happened weekly over there. I left there to avoid the demolition derby crap.
Because you had to go slow down.
Brian, where would you like to race? And let's have a food drive and let's donate some food to some people.
Let's see.
Let's make it a fun time go-kart track so I can race too.
No. Let's do late models. You bring your best piece and I'll bring my second best piece and we'll race.
Let's do it for us.
What about I won't race.
Okay, let's put a call out to see if we can't find you a race car to race to.
So I get 2-lap head start.
Whatever you.
I haven't ran Florence all year, and I'm saying that you can't outrun me at Florence.
I'm saying I've never drove a race car of that caliber in my life, and I'll probably lose with a 2-lap head start. Moon, we're gonna have to move on to our next guest. We'll figure this out. And if you can find me a late model drive, that'd be hilarious.
Well, just put the call out. I mean, we got people. You know people. I mean, there's a good piece out there.
I don't even
Brian,
need
when are you gonna have your car ready?
My car's been ready. I've been racing it. I've had some other stuff going on. It's just not my year, Mr. Moon. Just not my year.
Baby mama drama.
What's it,
no, it ain't too much of that. It's kind of some rough stuff though. But I'm dealing with it. And you should know as well as the next person. Your head's got to be in a certain place if you're going to strap yourself in a race car and go and compete. I could go there and just go drive around, but my head's not there. My head's not in it right now.
Well, there's some people that have their heads up their asses when they're driving.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be that guy.
It's better to have your head up your ass than somebody else's head up your ass.
Well, all right, man. We're gonna let you go. I got to get my next guest on here for the top of the hour, and you.
Okay. Well, he won his first race this week, didn't he?
Robby
Hensley won at Florence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, congratulations to the Moon Man.
All right, Jim.
I'll talk to you guys later. Appreciate
Jim coming on. I'll be in touch with you, man.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to the program in a better situation than when we talked to him last time. This is after a big win. Robby talked to us about winning instead of rolling.
Well, how you guys doing? Long time no hear.
Yeah, 2 weeks?
Yeah. It still hasn't set in yet. It's almost like I had a curse there. Six years, and I think I had 8 second-place finishes. It's still, I know it's just a regular show, but to me that was a big deal, and it still just hasn't sunk in.
So it's literally your first win?
No, it's my first win at Florence Speedway. That's what I'm saying. I've won Moeller. I've won at the Creek, Lawrenceburg, and that place has always got me for 6 years.
Well, that's because there's some of the best competition in the frickin' country out there, dude.
That's true. I mean, you got guys like Jerry Rice, he ran second in the North-South. You got Jamison, he's on fire every time. That had a lot to do with it, but, now I got some backing with Scott, and I think he's took me to the next level.
Have you learned a bunch working with those guys?
I've learned the biggest thing is the work ethic. I mean, when we were down in Florida, I was helping Scott, and he bent the frame in qualifying. I thought we were done. He said, no, got us all out, cut it, straighten it back up, and it wasn't right, but, he made shows, and he finished, and just that alone, to put a whole car back together, we were done at 2 o'clock in the morning, done, ready to race.
So, was this your first race back after the incident?
No. The week I talked to you, I had drove Jeff Razor's car. He was nice enough to let me race. Ended up breaking a drive shaft, which I hated that for him because he was nice enough to let me use his stuff. But that week, the following week, I went to Rocket and picked up a new frame and got it back together. It was Friday. I worked till 2 in the morning Friday, and then Scott came over 8 o'clock in the morning the next day after he had raced Moeller, and he scaled the car for me. He went over the car for me, and I ended up running second to him that night. So then this following week is when I finally got the car dialed in and won.
Did you hear from the guys up at Rocket after your win?
No, actually, I've been overwhelmed again just like from the crash, now it's about winning, which is good. I mean, I've had hundreds of phone calls and emails, and I mean, I haven't had time to do much, honestly.
Well, I mean, so you got as many hits from the win as you did from the accident. 'Cause I know the accident, I mean, it had been seen by thousands of people, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the wreck probably did get more hits just because of the way everything went down, but I still got tons of congratulations through the win, so, you know.
First thing I saw, I got on dirt, and I seen it. I said, well, that looks like Hensley's car right there. And I seen the checker flag fly. I said, well, he'll be a guest.
Comes back from tearing a car to pieces. 2 weeks later, got it in victory lane, dude. I'm super impressed. I'm glad to know you.
Well, thanks, man. You know, me and you we've always been good.
Yeah. I think Robby's one of the few people that actually gets it, dude. He doesn't take too much too seriously.
Well, if he listens to most of the show, he knows we don't either.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I heard enough.
Well, and if Jimmy's still listening or Devin listening, we're not. I wasn't upset or anything, but it's just the start of the show just kind of like.
Dude, when you schedule yourself on the show and you don't call in, if you get mad because people are ribbing you, you just got to get a sense of humor, dude.
It just makes it drag a little bit. But hey, you know what?
Think about it, Robby. If I was as big as you, imagine how much crap I'd talk.
As much as you wanted.
Kind of like Kyle May.
Yeah.
Kyle May.
Definitely.
Hey, Robby, how old of a guy are you?
Huh?
How old of a guy are you?
Oh, sorry. I'm 25.
Okay, so you're 25, mid-20s. Think back to when you turned 21. Can you give race car driver Kyle May any advice on turning 21?
Use your head.
Well, that's wrong advice. Give me some more advice. That's probably not a good one.
I don't know. I mean,
choose your friends wisely.
Yeah, because I mean, when I was 21, I changed a little bit because I had a kid on the way, so I definitely had to change from my old party ways and all the trouble I used to get into.
Hear that, Kyle May?
Yeah, I got you.
You think about that next week when you're drinking your very first beer. Your very first
I got this feeling, dude, that ain't going to be his very first beer, Webb.
In the Dirt does not condone underage drinking. I had to do that disclaimer real quick.
Does that get you out of trouble if somebody goes out and gets hammered and they're only 20? Kyle May?
Kyle May's he's as they say, a grown-ass man.
Uh-huh.
I seen some pictures of some trips back from racetracks. Kyle's all passed out, and you guys were making light of it, like, oh, he's just tired. Yeah, he was just tired.
So. I don't remember that.
That's that picture coming back from Hickory.
He was just tired, Robby.
Yeah, I've used that line before.
We weren't tired from alcohol. It was the hookers.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Well, all right. Well, Robby, we wanted to have you on and congratulate you on your big win. Anytime you come back from an accident, I mean, it was probably one of the worst I've ever seen. And just to be able to get back in the car needs applauded. But the fact that you parked it in victory lane less than a month later, congratulations. And what's next for the Hensley Motorsports?
Well, thanks. And we got the Ralph Latham coming up, and we're going to see how that goes to decide if we're going to go to the Dream or not.
Look at you.
It's just hard to hit.
Go.
Yeah, but you got to buy them LM tires, and I mean, we just junked the car, and money's tight. We got to weigh our options.
Well, if you need help, I will go with you, and I'll even pay my way in.
I don't need help. I just need some money. Can I borrow some money?
I'll give you $50 if you go to the Dream. That's the best I can do for you, dude.
Yeah, we're going to see what we can do. Hopefully the route
I can put gas in your truck.
Hey, that might work. I got to take what I can get.
I can put gas in your truck, but that's about as far as I could go with it. You know how I operate.
I know, man. It's tough these days. I know.
Well, all right, Robby. Well, good luck with the Latham, and if you guys go to the Dream, make sure you Facebook it out, and I'll try to get hold of you if you're there. If you make the show, we'll do an interview while you're there, and we'll play it on Monday.
All right, that sounds good, guys. I really appreciate you having me on.
Not a problem. And before you go, thanks for your sponsors, man.
All right, I'm gonna thank my dad. He's like I said, he supplies everything. I'm gonna thank Scott James and his Shark Cars. I wouldn't be in this situation without him. I got to thank Mark Richards, some of the sponsors, Turn 3 Gang. They started supporting me and sending donations after the wreck. Owens Shocks, and I got to thank Third Star Photos and Bischoff Race Engines.
Well, y'all can catch Robby at the Latham in the 21 Rocket. Good luck to you, man.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye. All right, Brian, before we go, I got to set this record straight. I don't want to embarrass Kyle about the hookers because there wasn't any hookers. But
I didn't say nothing about the hookers.
I know. I'm just going to. I got to protect.
I was just insinuating that maybe you guys weren't as tired as you look.
Oh, we was beat. We was tired.
Yeah, I'm sure you were tired.
We were at the trade show.
I'd be tired too. One time I drank like a whole fifth of Red Stag, and I was tired, dude. I couldn't get up off the floor. I was so tired.
But before we went to this trade show, I told him, I said, tell your mom, she was worried, he was a little bit, her baby was going out. I said, listen, everything's cool. I got you, but gonna need a note from your mom so we can get hookers. And his mom said, I'll give you a note that says you're going to get hookers, but I got to see a note from your wife.
Then I had the flu for like 3 days after that, Webb, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that was the other part.
So anyway, there was no...
So I was tired, and I was so tired that I was sick for 5 days.
That ain't good.
You're still not getting it.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Just ignoring it.
Talking about Rex though, good friend of ours, Mr. Dave McWilliams had a nasty one at Portsmouth over the weekend, and we got to wish him a speedy recovery too. He was as fortunate, I think, as anybody could be.
I haven't seen any pictures or video, but I mean he was airlifted, and then last I heard he was stable.
I'm telling you, there's somebody. They've got a video. It's on YouTube somewhere. I'll send you a link of it.
Well, I mean, it's not important.
That dude is absolutely should be thanking his lucky stars because that was a nasty one. He is a very lucky man.
What about Jill George's wreck? That car, I mean, that was unbelievable. That car was torn in half. I don't know the whole story. I mean, but what did she hit?
I don't know. I haven't seen any video of that, but I've seen pictures of it, and I heard that it was pretty bad. And that was in a heat race, I believe. But I think she pretty much went away from that with a nasty cut.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, when you see that video of Dave McWilliams at Portsmouth, he almost came out of that car.
My. Well, we certainly wish him a speedy recovery, and I'm sure there'll be updates along the way. But last I read, he was stable condition, I believe is what I read. Somebody can Facebook me and correct me if I'm wrong. But before we go, I'd like to thank my guests, the ones that did call in. Mr. Jimmy Owens, the O Show, defending 2011 champion of the Lucas Oil Series, on his en route currently to another one possibly. I'd like to thank the Moon Man, Mr. Moon, cavalier enough to step aside and let Mr. Owens have his time on In the Dirt. And thirdly,
getting it done, cherry picking with the 525.
And then I'd also like to thank Mr. Robby Hensley. Big win over the weekend. He finally gets that win he's looking for at Florence. Evidently, it's eluded him for several years. I like that dude, man.
Yeah, man, cool.
Never met him personally, but I just like he has a good demeanor.
There's a reason why they call him the Big Show.
Kyle May, what is up next for the Old Man's Garage? Klein Chassis.
I think we'll probably go to Green Valley Saturday. We're running. They're having those legs, those like 5 race legs of points, and the winner gets like an extra $500 each time. And I think we're running second, so we're gonna try to bring that home. Then I don't know after that. Just I think we're. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I think we're discussing the other engine that we've received being placed into the car and that kind of thing. I think Fort Payne's having a 3,000 win race coming up pretty soon, so we're going to get ready for it and try to win it because money's money and it's good.
Y'all need to come run a crate race with the Neesmith series.
Friday
at Boyd's.
Yeah, we thought about it, but I don't know.
Come on, call me.
I don't know. I hate to go up there and embarrass myself. But
well, you're coming off a win. You got some confidence. Grab you some tires and go up there and put it on them.
Because you're going to need beer money next week.
In 2 weeks, not this coming week, but the next, I'll be in Panama City all week. So that's
take me down to Panama City.
Yeah, I'm taking
21 and in Panama City.
Club La Vida.
I don't know if you know the Brady Burns kid. Do you know Brady Burns? You know him?
Yeah, he's the one with the porn mustache.
yeah, that's him. He's going to attend. It's going to be an interesting week.
We need to have a mustache night here on the In the Dirt, and just have guests who have mustaches.
I might get him on here.
I'm out of that one, dude. I couldn't grow a mustache if I didn't shave for like a year.
Mustache. Brad Berry's got a mustache for Mustache May. He might be shaving his in a couple of days since May's over.
I know some safety crew members that can grow them. I think it's like mandatory to be a safety crew guy, have a mustache.
Well, all right. Well, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming on the show this evening, and I'm sure Devin Gilpin was just recovering from a long weekend, and we'll be back in touch with him, try to get him on the show. For Brian Hollywood Gray and Kyle Race Day RD, they call me RD. Race Day May. This is Webb Dillard, and you've been listening to In the Dirt, and we'll see you next week, or you'll hear us next week.